Everybody good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on one sec. I drank a seltzer. It's not. We're good.
She needs to be burped.
We have some
We have two
experience.
That's such a funny picture. It's like somebody sling me over their shoulder, like whack me with their whole arm. Anyway.
All right, home stretch. Here we go. You're listening to the Noon 15 podcast. I'm your host, Dan Cole, and I'll take you behind the scenes of Noon 15, an independent band writing, performing, and recording original music. This season, we'll talk about Noon 15's debut release, Volume 1, and get the story behind one song per episode, as well as the ups and downs of working around day jobs, babies, and band shakeups here in Ithaca, New York. At the end of each episode, you'll hear the song in its finished form. Thanks for listening, and welcome to Noon 15, the podcast. And welcome to the final episode of Volume 1, the release of Noon 15's first album. Track number 6 is Hang Me Out to Dry.
I'm feeling so tired of you running around. You hang me out to dry.
And I'm here now with Mandy Goldman, Samuel B. Lupowitz, Harry Nichols, and Joe Massa. And Hang Me Out to Dry has 3 songwriting credits, actually, Goldman, Lupowitz, and Massa. And to start with, how does that really work? 3 people writing the song. What does that mean exactly?
I wrote this song, just me singing it to my iPhone, home alone.
Now it's late in the evening. I see familiar shapes at my window pane. I'm searching it for you, but I know what's true. My window's only good for looking through.
I really wanted to make it into a song, and I didn't have the tools yet. Sam was on tour at the time. And I was like, I'm not going to wait on this. I have to, be independent, except that I am totally codependent on someone else to finish the song. I called Joe and I was like, maybe we can get together, and played him the recording off my phone and sang a bunch of it to him, and he would play and say, like, how about this? How about that? Is this what you're hearing? And
Cool. My contribution came a little bit later, and I think Joe and Mandy had close to 90% of the song done. I think I mostly came in and helped make final decisions about what some of the chord changes were going to be, particularly in the bridge.
Running round and hanging me to dry. No, you were right. I just.
No, I called the wrong chord. No.
Oh, okay.
I was like, the bridge is on 4, but it's not. It's on 3. Where do you want to pick that up from? I like this one.
I'm glad.
We'll do it with a band. We'll really be able to build this nicely.
Can we just go from the chorus into it?
Yeah.
For the most part, Mandy had the lyrics and melody. Joe got it almost to the end before I put any of my stamp on it.
Oh, mercy me, I'm feeling pushed around. I don't know what to do. I'm barely depending on you. I start to break, I start to make it right, but I'm still alive in my time.
So where does this song come from for you?
so at the time that I wrote it, Sam had been touring a lot, and I was like, that's very hard on a committed relationship. Even it's just a hard thing when you're missing someone, and I was like, I need something to channel these feelings into. I knew our situation wasn't extreme, like he was always going to come back in the door at the end of the day, like when he got home. But like, I was like, if I really want to like channel all of this feeling of like loneliness and like uncertainty, like I should just write this from the perspective of a character. I was thinking of it like I want it to be like really melancholy, like a Billie Holiday kind of melancholy, like my man's never coming back kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I can't depend on you. I start to break. I start to make it right. But I'm still biding my time.
So I just kind of was like, well, I'm going to write from that perspective, like the most extreme this situation could be.
Right.
Yeah.
Some exaggerating in songwriting sometimes. right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
There's a funny feel to it being at the end of the album like this because it's really it's safe to say this is Mandy's song, right? I mean, she is obviously the star of this one. Was there and obviously you had a large presence on the other parts of the album as well, but was there like a conscious effort that like we got to end this with one that's really all Mandy's, or is it just the way it kind of fell together like that?
I don't know that it was that we wanted to end the record with something that was all Mandy from a like writing or from role in the band perspective. I think it just kind of it's such a dynamic, powerful song. I think it just lent itself to it in and of itself without having to think about any external meaning.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
We all like a sappy ballad closer. Like
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's funny when I think of it, it's not an obvious influence, but like Ben Folds always closes his records with a lot of the early ones, especially with a really sad ballad closer.
Okay.
And I love that.
Okay.
I love that, leaving that taste in someone's mouth for whatever reason.
How much thought really went into this one first, this one second, this one third as you went through the album here like that?
We had a lot. I mean, we had a lot to choose from, actually. We definitely had more originals in our regular live set at the time that we were getting this all together. And so, I don't know, I kind of feel like we more or less were just picking, here and there, songs that we liked, songs that we thought represented us.
Yeah. They're mostly earlier songs that we started working on. Dave Coulier came
like
a little later, but they were all sort of songs that were a good snapshot of where we were when we started the band and the direction we're pointing in, as we continue to make more music.
And so sort of at the same time as we picked the songs, we said, these are the ones that we think we want to record. Now, of these, what should be the order?
Yeah. Dave Coulier, there was a note about using an upright piano from Lincoln Hall. This one used a grand piano from a personal household. And so what was it about those in particular that you couldn't get out of one of your keyboards, for example?
I like having a wide scope of sounds, but if you're going for a sound, I like it to be make the sound on the thing that actually makes that sound as much as possible rather than an imitation. And I use all the Hammond organ stuff is a digital emulation of that. It would have been tough to fit a B3 into the studio that we recorded this in. But I play an actual the Wurlitzer electric piano. I play I lugged that thing 40-year-old beast into the studio and to our gigs because I feel like it responds differently than a recording of someone else playing that instrument that I'm then manipulating.
Right.
So I didn't want to do acoustic piano unless we could really get the sound of a piano in a room.
Yeah.
And for, the Dave Coulier one, the upright piano I used had this nice sort of honky-tonk quality that didn't lend itself so well to this song. I think I did do a track, but then we heard it and we said, it sounds a little funky.
Yeah, and the upright piano there's just a feel to it that goes well with that kind of song, that pace of a song and everything. It's like
Especially when it's not quite in tune. Yeah.
yeah.
This needed the grandeur, I think.
Right.
That Aretha Franklin sort of that depth.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
set on it. The sound I always wanted was the ring, especially like the ring of the bass notes on the piano. Yeah.
In my time, I'm waiting for you to get back in my life.
If we can only release one song, I still think it's the best thing I've written so far, and it's also the song that I've gotten the most feedback from other people about. Like, oh, I want to listen to that. And just like comes right from the heart. So
Yeah. Well, fortunately, you don't have to make that choice, and we have a 6-song album here, and we are, I think, finally ready to hear track number 6. Hang Me Out to Dry off the album Volume 1. This is Noon 15.
Yay! Thanks,
Thank you,
Dan.
Yeah, thanks, man.
My pleasure.
I'm going to save that right now.
Yeah,
we can
save
clean
it.
up my remaining.
Thanks for making me a part of this, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
man,
yeah,
I
it
really
was awesome.
appreciate
Such thoughtful questions.
Now it's late in the evening. I see familiar shapes at my window pane. I'm searching it for you, but I know what's true. My window's only good for looking through. And I wanna know the answer to when you're coming in, when you leave again. I'm staring at the door, but I don't know what for, 'cause you're not coming home to me no more. But I'm in my time, I'm waiting for you to get
Thanks for listening to the Noon 15 podcast. Visit noon15.com to subscribe and for more music, videos, and info on upcoming shows. If you like what you hear, tell your friends and leave us a review on iTunes. Tune in next time for another trip behind the scenes with Noon 15.